You're listening to the Straight Crooked Podcast.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going well. I mean, I think you know how I'm feeling and
I
doing.
do. Absolutely.
So we've been here the last couple of days
Yep.
together,
Having
chilling.
fun.
Yeah, been having a great time. Yesterday I was a really bad driver.
Oh, that completely went out of my mind until you said that.
It did me too until I just said it. I wasn't planning on talking about that, but
I feel you should tell everyone what happened.
So, well, I mean, there were quite a few instances. We actually went to a neighborhood around here that has really, really nice houses. So we decided that we were going to venture down there to go just look because we're adults now and that's what gets us excited.
Right.
But I don't know. I was just not having a good driving day yesterday. Like, almost got T-boned. My fault.
And I think you should add that you're normally fine. I've never been like scared in the car with you before yesterday.
I don't know what was up with me. And by the end of it, I was like, we need to hurry up and get home. Like, I can't.
Yeah, the T-boning situation, you went forward through the green light. This is from my perspective. You're going forward, you're pausing, waiting to turn left as this SUV is coming towards us. And I think you're pausing, but then you're slowly kind of inching into the turn. And I'm frozen in fear. My heart is racing.
Even say anything?
And then I go, whoa, 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 whoa. Because the SUV does not care that you're about to turn in front of them.
They did not.
They're probably like, yeah, let's get some insurance money here.
It was a nice SUV, too.
It was.
But
Luckily,
anyway,
you stopped.
I was focused on trying to find out where I needed to turn.
Right. I mean, hey,
so anyway.
driving is hard, especially when you don't really know the roads and where you're going. It's stressful.
Yeah. Anyway.
It was just, what was funny to me, though, was actually when you got to the point where you could have turned, the SUV was quite far, like you could have made it. But then you hesitated, I guess, looking for the road and waited until it was right there. Like, we almost got hurt.
Yeah, so that was fun. But we were also driving, and we were, driving through downtown Savannah. And I was, driving through this residential area. Haven't been there before. And I was like, oh, is this a stop sign? And I was like, oh, no. So I kept driving, and then all of a sudden, there is this huge, huge bump.
It's like a speed bump times a million.
With
It was
no
wider.
warnings.
No warning, because it wasn't a speed bump.
No.
It was just the road. And the way it looked, it kind of looked like a four-way.
Yeah.
And that's why
It
you
did.
asked if there was a stop sign. And it was like the second you asked and you saw there wasn't one, we were airborne.
We literally were airborne. Like, her phone jumped out of her lap.
And it, like, I feel like it floated in midair. It,
For
like,
a second,
it
yeah.
paused in the air while we were. It was, and that was fun for me. That was
she
really cool.
was like, oh, that was so cool. And I was like, I feel like I'm about to die right now. I'm about to have a heart attack. Is my car okay?
And that's how I felt when I thought we were getting T-boned. I thought we were dying. But no, it was like a good little adrenaline rush because it didn't hurt. If we would have landed and it hurt, I feel like I would have been crying about it.
My poor car.
One that you might not even remember because it was a little minor. A light turned yellow when you were way far away. You didn't realize it. So when you got close to going through the light, it turned red and you go, oh my God, why did it turn red so fast? And I was like, honey, it's been yellow for a long time. Like, you were flying up to a yellow light.
I guess my attention was divided.
That's okay.
But, like, I also don't drive a lot.
Yeah.
Because I work from home and I just don't get out into the world very much. So when I do drive, especially areas that I'm not familiar with, which was mostly yesterday.
Yes.
So, yeah, anyway, I was a very bad driver. But I swear I'm not like that in real life.
It was hard for me as well because I'm usually a scared driver, or not a scared driver, a scared passenger. So sometimes I have the habit of being like, hey, slow down, like, hey, what are you doing? Yeah, and so I didn't want to do that, but then when instances kept happening, I'm like, should I tell you every time I see a yellow light or something? Like, so I know you're stopping.
In that case, maybe.
I didn't when we survived.
I don't know. It was just not a good time. I mean, it was a good time. But
it was fine. I mean,
at least we made it home.
We made it back, and I'm glad that we just decided, hey, let's not be on the road anymore.
Yeah, that was a very wise decision on our part.
Absolutely.
We were home before dark.
Thank God. Oh, my God, I don't even want to know what might have happened in the dark.
Okay. So with that, I I guess the first thing I was going to say, because remember my PSA was return your shopping carts.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this theory that whether or not you return your shopping cart is literally the way that our society operates as a whole. So if you return your shopping carts at the end of the trip to the corral or whatever, it means you're like a lawful person who follows the rules.
Really?
But if you leave one in the middle of the parking lot, you're the one who has no respect for rules, disregards authority
Yeah.
type of person.
I mean, that checks out.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, that really does check out because I'm afraid to leave them. I'm afraid of being falsely arrested, like falsely accused and getting arrested of anything.
Yeah.
So I follow the law for the most part. And yeah, I don't want anyone to call me out if they see me leaving it. But also, I don't want to leave it and it hit somebody's car or be in the
Yeah.
way of someone parking.
Exactly.
It's rude.
Exactly.
And nothing is more annoying than when you try to turn in or like when they're perched up on the curb. They're like halfway in the parking spot, you know?
Uh-huh.
Like at the ends of the aisles.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Because people can't be bothered to take 10 extra seconds to return it.
These days, they put so many of the corrals that they have like way less parking spots, and it's kind of inconvenient. But
Yeah,
it's
but there is
convenient
one every 10
there's
feet.
Right. There's no excuse.
There really isn't an excuse. But it's just the type of person you are. So if you don't return your shopping carts, I'm going to go ahead and assume you're a terrible person.
I can agree with
Just
that.
say that.
Have you seen on TikTok? There's a guy, I cannot remember his name, but he is like some shopping what? Did I say shopping short? That's why I don't say that word. He's like some buggy superhero, right?
Uh-huh.
And he waits in parking lots and finds people that are leaving them out and confronts them about it
Oh my God.
and puts it on TikTok.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't really like watching it because I don't love
That's
the confrontation.
secondhand embarrassment for me. I get secondhand embarrassed by anything.
Really?
Yes.
It depends for me, but some people like are really rude. They like fight back. Like I've seen people
Why?
hanging out of
You
their
could
windows.
just be like, oh yeah, my bad.
Yeah, no, they're like, you do it, I don't care. Blah, 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 don't tell me what to do. People are
See?
crazy.
Those are those just no respect.
Yeah.
No respect at all.
Absolutely.
So anyway, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. I'm gonna pay attention now if I'm ever with people.
Yeah.
Are you returning it or are you leaving it?
Yep. Yep. I agree. I feel like this is going to take a very sharp turn
Uh-oh.
here. Into
Oh,
our,
I'm scared. Let me get a
into
sip
our
of water.
So it's going to, I don't have a good segue for this. But this is
Just
the
throw it on
only,
me.
yeah, this is the only good, well, not good. Oh my God. What am I
I'm
saying?
terrified right now.
This is the only true crime topic of the episode today. And this one actually has a happy ending. So,
Oh God. Okay.
yeah, it's actually quite humorous the way these people are so stupid.
Okay, let's hear it.
Yeah, okay. So, picture it, 1970s,
Okay.
Chowchilla, California. That is the name of the town. That
Never heard of it.
Yep. So it's summertime, and summer school is going on, right? And so they finished up for the day. They actually got to go to the pool that day, so everybody was, having a good time coming home on the school bus. And the kids on the school bus ranged in age from 5 to 14.
Okay.
Big age range.
Yeah.
And the bus driver, he'd been driving the bus for a long time. Very good, loved what he did type of situation. And so they had dropped off a couple of kids, and they ended up, there was a van blocking the middle of the road. So at first he kind of paused and just was like, do I go around it? It just looked a little bit strange, right?
Like a setup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this man all of a sudden has a shotgun, goes up to the bus door, and he was like, okay, you better let me in right now. So they actually had a couple of different vans. It was 3 men. I'm going to get into them in a minute, but 3 men made them get into vans, all of them, with the bus driver included. So all of these children are terrified. The vans are blacked out. They can't see anything. And they end up driving around for 12 hours. 12 hours.
Those kids.
Yeah. All those kids, yeah. Anyway, by the time this time rolls around, the parents are realizing, like, hey, my child isn't home.
Yeah.
And so they start calling the police. This bus, it's there, abandoned. There's no children. And so everybody's freaking out, obviously. But turns out them driving for 12 hours, they literally went, like, 10 miles or something like that.
What?
Yeah.
Were they just going in circles?
Yeah. It was so they would be not seen, like they wanted to wait until it was dark outside.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, anyway, it gets dark. They finally come to a stop. And they had built, it's at a rock quarry. Okay. That's where they decided to stop. So I'll kind of get to the three men now.
Okay.
So it was a set of brothers, two brothers, and one other guy. The two brothers actually came from a very privileged family, and I'm pretty sure their family is the one that owned the rock quarry.
Wow.
Yeah, so, I mean, they were just deadbeats, didn't want to get a job, didn't want to do anything, so they were like, hey, I have this idea. Why don't we kidnap a whole bunch of kids for ransom? So that's what they decided to do.
So they did that just for money.
That's what they decided to do, yes. So that was their intent. So they get to the rock quarry. They order all these kids and the bus driver down to a underground bunker type of situation.
God.
But it was a semi-truck container. That's
Like
what it
under
was.
the ground?
It was under the ground.
Wow.
Yeah. So they didn't have any food, they didn't have any water, they didn't have any bathrooms, and they were running out of air, because they're underground.
God.
So there's only one 14-year-old. You imagine, these kids are 5 years old.
Right.
Like, they're freaking out.
Yeah.
So he was trying to keep them calm, like singing songs with them and stuff like that. But anyway, meanwhile, the men, it's time for them to call in their ransom demands, right?
Oh my God.
So, how about this? The lines were flooded, so they couldn't get through because of all of the parents and people calling in tips.
No.
So they could not get through to the police.
What idiots. They're so stupid.
So they decide, well, hey, we've got some time to kill. We're waiting for the phone lines to clear up. And they decide to take a nap.
Uh-oh.
They decide to take a nap. They ate some pizza and took a nap.
And where are they napping? Like in their van?
In their, I don't know where they are. They're there at the rock quarry somewhere.
Okay.
But anyway, so they're napping. Meanwhile, they're like, okay, we need to find a place. We need to find a way to escape. We got to get out of here.
Oh, so are they trying to ditch it at that point?
Well,
or they're just...
the bus driver and all the kids.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
They're trying to find a way to get out of this underground bunker because they're scared it's going to collapse. Like, the dirt might fall onto them, everything.
Yeah.
And anyway, the 14-year-old kid, because the bus driver was almost defeated at this point. Mm-hmm. And the one oldest 14-year-old boy, they finally were able to find a way to get up through the ceiling. Meanwhile, these people are still sleeping. Not kidding. So they were... they managed to escape and already were in the arms of their parents. And then they woke up from their nap.
No way. Oh my goodness. I love that ending.
Isn't it fantastic?
Yes.
So nobody died, and they were just stupid.
They got caught, right? Arrested.
They definitely got caught.
Okay.
But, like, I just can't imagine. And you've traumatized these children.
Yeah. For nothing at this point.
For nothing. For nothing.
I'm shocked right now. Like, imagine your entire plan just up in the air. Nothing. You don't get anything because you fell asleep. Get it together. I feel like before a big day like that, you gotta get some rest. Be ready for anything.
It's the stupidest thing I've ever
That's
heard.
crazy. I've never heard of that. I really enjoyed that one though.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to have some good ending.
You don't
get that a lot.
No, hardly ever.
You don't get that a lot.
I hope the kids are okay.
Yeah, so do I. Well, actually, I think some of them have come forward and like done interviews and things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, internally freaking scarred.
Right.
But I'm glad that none of them got hurt.
Yeah.
But could you imagine being 5 years old and being taken captive? Like, That is so terrifying.
That would ruin me. It would ruin me now, like, but
But yeah.
it's so much
And
worse.
to be the only adult in that situation as the
Yeah.
bus driver.
Poor guy.
Like, how do you keep... Because I think they said it was like 30 of them.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was so many kids. And, like, how do you keep them all calm?
I'm sure it was near impossible.
I mean, because it was hot down there, running out of breath. Like...
I can't imagine that.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. But
Also, I feel like if they weren't going to fall asleep and they were going to go through with it, they should have, like, planned out where they're going to keep them better. Because you can only keep them down there for so long before they're just going to die. You're not going to get the money if they die. I mean, don't do it in the first place.
They were just really, really, really stupid.
Yeah, sounds like it.
They were dumb. And that is why, like, you put all of this effort in to get money just because you really, really don't want to get a job.
Yeah.
Like, think about that.
And even though the plan was stupid, you took the time to apply yourself to that. You could have been doing something useful, working, or even coming up with, like, I don't know, something not illegal to make money.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Stupid,
People are
right?
so dumb.
Okay, so I was looking through the headlines today.
Okay.
And I guess Twitter is really divided on Leonardo DiCaprio at 48 years old dating a 25-year-old model. How do you feel about that?
I personally don't have an issue with that. It's not like it's a 20-year-old. You're 25 years old. I mean, I don't know, because you're well into adulthood by age, but, you know, I guess it varies from person to person. But the only thing I have a problem with in his situation is that he's infamous for breaking up with his girlfriends.
He's had so many. And they're all young.
After they pass 25, or maybe either when they turn 25 or right after they pass 25, he, like, just on to the next one. So he's, like, consistently dating 25 and younger, and I'm not cool with that.
Weird. Yeah.
That's kind of gross to me. But, you know, a 25-year-old falling in love with a 48-year-old, I don't care.
Yeah.
They're adults. But the fact that it's a pattern for him, he's actively seeking out only younger women.
He probably is like a skeezy person, you know?
I get that vibe now. I didn't used to until, you know, all his dating history was like...
He's a fantastic actor.
Oh, for sure.
But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. And especially for him to be like, oh, this is a requirement, almost, in his mind.
Yeah, and it's hard for me, because, like, I don't know if I touched on this in another episode, but all of my, like, celebrity crushes are, like, mostly in their 40s. I'm 25. So yeah. I would want, you know, I want a chance with those people, too. I don't want them to, like, knock 25-year-olds and be like, that's too young. But again, it's like the repeated behavior, like, it's gross. Yeah. You're getting older, but your girlfriends are staying the same age.
As Matthew McConaughey said in Days
Oh my God, yes, we just saw that. I was thinking of the Taylor Swift lyric, but
the same age.
Taylor Swift in a song about Jake Gyllenhaal said, "I'll get older, but your lovers stay my age," because he does it too. A lot of these men do in Hollywood. And again, it's just the consistency of it.
Do you think they're held at a different standard because it's Hollywood? Like, is it more acceptable? If we were talking about a 48-year-old man and a 25-year-old woman just off the street, would it be different?
It depends. If this is like his 7th relationship with a 25-year-old, then yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know. It's really hard from the outside looking in, because sometimes you see things and you're like, that is kind of weird and creepy.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it just feels like it makes sense. I don't know.
Well, I mean, 25... I feel like your brain is fully developed, but, like, what do you have in common?
Right.
You grew up in completely different decades.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand how you can find a life partner who is so vastly different from you.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's looking for a life partner.
Clearly not. And it's different for everyone at what stage in life they are, but 9 times out of 10, I feel like the 25-year-old and the 40-something-year-old do not want the same things out of life in that moment. The 25-year-old still needs to live life and have experiences. 48-year-old man is probably like...
established.
Yeah. I've done everything. Like, I don't want to go...
Probably has had kids and been divorced a couple of times.
Right. Yeah. That's a tough one.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
But in this particular situation you brought up, I don't like it.
But, like, 18 gross.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, like, unacceptably. If you're newly an adult, that is disgusting to me.
Honestly, I think even into the early 20s, especially under the legal drinking age, like you can't even bring your girlfriend in a bar.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like even 24 feels weird to say it. It's like you got to be halfway through your 20s. 25 and up is fine for older, but I don't know.
Like, how much older? Like, how much of an age difference is too much?
I guess it depends on how much you like the person. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
again, it's all like I don't know any older men in real life. I think non-celebrity men are gross because you don't know celebrities in real life. So it's fun to just like have these little.
You project onto them whatever you want them to be.
Exactly. So if I'm thinking about men in real life, it grosses me out thinking about older people. But then, you know, like Johnny Knoxville's in his 50s, like Danny McBride's in his 40s. Hit me up. Like, you know, it's fine. Like, that's not too old and gross. Deep down, genuinely, I don't want a relationship right now. I don't want anyone taking up my time, my attention, whatever. Like, I just don't have that in me right now.
Yeah.
So it's more fun for me to just be like, oh, I love this celebrity. Like, I'll just pursue them because I know it's not going to happen, you know? And it adds the excitement of like my fantasy world in my head, but I don't have to actually commit to anything.
You do a lot of meet and greets and stuff.
Yeah, I enjoy that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like this might be a little bit controversial and you can not answer if you
Okay.
want to. Is there anybody who did not meet your expectations? Like, who was rude?
I'm thinking really hard on this. I really don't think so.
Well, I guess we can bring up the Steve-O story. We were pretty pleasantly surprised at the end.
Yeah.
But we went to go see Steve-O's, I don't even want to call it a comedy show. I don't know what it was.
Just his tour.
Yeah, okay. But we did have the meet and greet passes to meet him afterwards. But he did end up going through the line and taking pictures for people who were waiting to get in.
Yeah, the people that were there early.
Yeah. So he was like, hey, I'll take a selfie with you guys, whatever. And he goes down the line and he gets to me and I open up my camera and it's facing the wrong way. Just because this is me in my life. Like, just because.
Well, also, before he started going down the line, he was like, if you don't have your camera out and ready, like, you're going to miss it. Like, get your camera out right now. Like,
yeah.
Very intense. Like, and rightfully so. I'm not saying anything bad at all. Like, he's doing it for free when other people are, like, paying to see him. So, yeah.
Right. But then he was like, that's not a selfie, and he kept walking.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I didn't get to get a picture with him.
I
like,
know.
what the fuck? And then I'm sitting through the whole show just kind of like deeply hurt.
Right.
And I enjoyed the show. I was like, oh God. It's like, I hope he's not an asshole when we actually go to meet him.
Yeah, because the meet and greet was after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so anyway, we were waiting on stage, and I was like, I'm kind of nervous to do this.
Yeah.
But anyway, Emberly had made us some sweatshirts, which were bomb.
So cute.
Super bomb. Her said Pontius and mine said Steve-O on them. And once we got up there, he really, really liked our sweatshirts. And we were like, oh, yeah, she made them. And he took a picture of our sweatshirts and sent it to Chris Pontius.
Yeah, that was really cool.
It's just super cool.
He was super pleasant. And like, I bought a book at the merch stand. And the first thing he did was take my book and he's like, let me personalize it for you. And like wrote my name in it. But yeah, the line thing was hilarious because when I click on my live picture that I got with him, it's so funny. His face goes boop boop, like he pops in for 2 seconds. I clicked it at the perfect time. If I would have waited a second, I wouldn't have caught him in it. But I will say, with that, adding to the Steve-O thing, I met him a couple months before, maybe like 6 months before that. Same thing. I went to the same show, did the meet and greet afterwards. So I will say that one, I didn't have a negative opinion whatsoever. But he was definitely more reserved, closed off, he didn't really seem into the conversation because I had the Jackass logo tattooed on my foot and I got him to sign it, which he did. No issue whatsoever. He got down on his knee and signed my foot. God bless him. But, it just wasn't like high energy or whatever. And it didn't leave like a bad taste in my mouth, but I was thinking like, oh, it's not exactly what I thought it would be. But then I had to stop and think like, these people really are just human. And just because every time you see them on the television or on social media and they're always on, they
Yeah.
can't be like that all
Their
the
social
time.
battery probably runs out
Yeah.
like pretty quickly when you're seeing so many
Right.
people.
And like you're doing whatever with the media and then you're doing a long stand-up show or whatever it
Yeah.
is. And then you have a meet and greet line going all the way to the back of the auditorium. So I never had like a negative thought about it. I was just like, okay, well that just exactly
Yeah.
wasn't what I thought it would be. But then
Turn it around.
yeah, the Savannah one was like, okay, yeah, he was probably just having an off day the first time I saw him.
Yeah.
And I say that so lightly because he was still very nice.
Right.
He
Yeah.
just, yeah, you could tell he was kind of ready to be done with the meet and greet.
Well, I'm glad that you haven't had a horribly just like terrible experience with somebody
Yeah,
who was rude. And
not one
snotty.
that I could think of.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
If anything comes to mind, I'll share it at a later date.
Okay.
I put a lot of things out of my mind though. Like I've tried to
Right.
write out all the people I've seen in concert, like not even met, but yeah.
Yeah.
I will say probably the most pleasant was Halsey.
Really?
Yeah. She
Nice.
was the nicest. I had a necklace that said Ember on it, and she was like, first of all, I don't really pause to look at necklaces if I'm meeting someone really quick because
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm nervous, and I'm like, what's happening? She looked at my necklace, and she's like, Ember, is that your name? And I'm like, yeah, but, like it's Emberly. And she's like, oh my God, I love that name so much. Like, I don't remember exactly how she worded it, but she said something like she's going to keep that name in the back of her mind. At the time when she was rolling out albums, they existed in this universe and she had characters in them and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I took it as maybe she would keep Ember in the back of her mind, like maybe for a character for an album, whatever.
Yeah.
Fast forward some years. Can't remember how many. I don't know what year this was. She had a little baby boy. She named her baby boy Ender. And it's a little close to Ember, so
Yeah.
not saying that she got inspiration from me, but I like to just tell myself
Think
that
so?
she did. Yeah.
I feel like it's pretty close.
Yeah. Do you have any celebrity interactions that were?
I don't think so. I mean, I feel which mine have been much more limited. Mine are mostly musicians that I've met.
Right.
And probably not many that anybody would know. So, I mean, like when I was in my phase, I met All American Rejects a couple of times.
Did you?
I did.
I didn't know you met them.
Yeah, and what was so funny is that they were actually playing a concert at the Mall of Georgia one time.
What?
Yeah, it was some years after they were like highly popular, But we went and we were looking around, and I think we went to Spencer's, and they were in Spencer's, and I was like, "Hey!"
No
they were like,
way.
"Hey!"
That is
It
so
literally just
cool.
kept going.
I love that. Did you get a picture?
I didn't get a picture with them at that moment in time, but I'm pretty sure I've gotten a picture with them at some point in time.
That's pretty cool.
I have actually what would be pretty cool for the podcast. I
Yeah.
have pictures of like very, very bad quality pictures because you're talking about 06, 07, 08.
Right.
But I do have some like meet and greet pictures with people.
Maybe we could post our pictures on the Instagram.
Yeah.
Our pictures with celebrities, meet and greets.
I feel like you have many more than I do.
But now that you say it, though, I'm sitting here thinking, like, I don't think I've met that many people. Like, I go to a lot of events, but...
I mean, I feel like you have.
Oh.
But you will get to post some new ones very soon, so maybe we should hold off on that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Maybe we'll wait.
I'm racking my brain now trying to think of who I have met. I feel like I'm losing my mind, honestly.
Well, it's like that thing where it's like when we were talking about, hey, do your movies and TV shows. It's like you've forgotten any movie or TV show
Right.
that you've ever watched in your entire
Too
life.
much pressure.
Yeah.
I want to say just because Halsey was the most pleasant, that doesn't mean everyone else wasn't pleasant because I just remembered Noah Cyrus was very nice too.
You met Noah Cyrus?
Yeah. She was really cool. This was like when she was first, I think she only had 1 or 2 songs out. And yeah, she did like a little performance at a radio station and got pictures with people afterwards, but then we ended up getting in the elevator together and riding down to our cars, which were like parked beside each other, and she was just sweet. She was.
Cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know like too much about her except for that picture of her and Little Xan.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I remember that.
Oh my, with his like
Yeah.
squished face.
That feels like forever ago.
Yeah, that was
Crazy.
It was a while ago. Well, we decided, and this was actually at the suggestion of my nephew, Silas.
Shout out.
Shout out to Silas. He was like, "Hey, you guys need to do some segments and stuff
Yeah.
because, he's 15. He's much more adept at these things than I.
Right.
So he's like, you need a little pizzazz.
Which I love because, yeah, we kind of came into this not really knowing anything except we were just going to talk
Yeah.
about whatever we wanted to.
Yeah.
So I'm all for like spicing it up, adding some segments.
Right.
Keep it fresh, as the kids say.
So we decided that we picked two AITA stories, short for "Am I the Asshole?" Which, if you don't know, it's pretty much on Reddit. It's a Reddit thing usually, right?
Right.
But stories of people, and they really want to know if they're the asshole in the situation or if they're not. So I picked my favorite one just because this one lives rent free in my head all the time.
I'm so excited to hear it.
Yeah.
I picked mine. I opened the app, went to the thread, read through a couple, and just picked the first one that stood out to me. 'Cause
Really?
I don't really have particulars in my head of ones that I've seen before. They don't
Yeah?
really stick with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna read two of those. She's picked one. I've picked one.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go through those.
Okay. Here's the first one. Here's the one I picked. Am I the asshole for saying I don't want kids, I want money at the dinner table and offending my sister? My sister has a 5-month-old baby. Her and her boyfriend are not struggling financially, but their standard of living has very much decreased since giving birth. They can afford necessities, but they can't go on vacation, can't go out to eat, and can't afford a babysitter. They also just moved into a cheaper apartment. My mom has been asking my sister and the baby to move in with her so they can save money, but my sister said no. For more context, my sister's boyfriend makes a little less than minimum wage. He only works part-time at a restaurant to focus on creating his music. When my sister announced they were trying for a baby, my mom was really worried, and she's still worried, about their financial situation. My sister is the primary income source for the household, and my mom has been giving them some money every month. I make a little more than my sister, but I don't have kids. So last night, all of us came together for dinner. My sister kept asking me when I'm going to have kids, and I said I don't plan on having kids. She said I'll change my mind. I'm almost 30. I said I probably won't, and she kept pressing me on why. I finally just said I don't want kids, I want money, and she got really quiet. When the dinner was over, she left a voicemail to my mom crying about how I attacked her, and my mom is mad at me. My mom wants me to apologize to my sister. To be clear, I do think my sister is in a nightmare situation, but I would have said I wanted money even if she didn't have a baby. I've always thought I'm not meant for parenthood, and I'd rather just be the cool, fun aunt that travels a lot and buys big presents for my nieces and nephews. I didn't mean to insult her, and I never once commented on her financials or relationship because it's not my place. Am I the asshole, and should I apologize?
Oh my. Well, before I even get to that part, what are you thinking trying to have another baby when you are not financially stable?
Right.
Trying for a baby.
Right.
Not just an oopsie and saying, oh, well, we'll make it work.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Because you're depending on other people for your financial sources.
And I understand chasing your dreams, but when you have a kid and you have someone you have to take care of, maybe do that like in your spare time and get a job that can help support your family. Don't make the mother do all of the work.
Sickening.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think this person did anything wrong.
I don't think so either, because she didn't go through and be like, I don't want a baby, I want money. Not like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to make the same mistake you did.
Right.
She didn't add that, even though she should have.
Like she said, she didn't comment on her sister's financials at all.
And why is her mom mad?
I know, right? Yeah, I don't think it's wrong that's just what you want in life. You don't want kids, you want money.
And why, let's just go ahead and start this tangent.
Okay.
Why does everybody ask you, do you have kids or when are you going to have kids?
Yeah.
I'm so over that.
Let me add to that. When you say you don't want kids, everyone says, you'll change your mind one day.
Yeah.
Please leave me alone.
Yes.
You don't know that I'm going to change my mind. I mean, if I do, I do, but I feel very strongly, personally, that I don't want kids.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine a world where I would find someone that I wholeheartedly love and trust so much that I would want to have a kid with them. You know what I mean?
True.
That's a big thing, but also I don't want to go through childbirth. And I've said it before, like flat out, I'm selfish in a way that I want to spend
And
my
sometimes
time.
it's okay to be that, as long as you're
Yeah.
self-aware of that, instead of like,
Yes.
oh, I want a baby because that's a selfish need for you,
Right.
and then being selfish and not taking care of the needs of the
Yeah.
child.
And I know that I stayed in Virginia for a month, and I part-time took care of my niece and nephew while my brother was at work. And it was like I wouldn't change anything. It was so much fun to spend time with them. But could I wake up every single day, and from the time they're awake until the time they go to bed, every minute is devoted to them? You
Yeah.
have to make sure they're okay. You have to play with them, teach them, entertain them, feed them, bathe them, keep them safe every day, every single day.
It's so scary to think about.
I couldn't, and I don't want to.
I'm still on the fence, personally.
Yeah.
I used to be adamant. Mm-hmm. Absolutely adamant.
Yeah.
But I think being a registered behavior technician, working with kids, and realizing that like you can shape your children's behavior based on reinforcing them for good behavior and not reinforcing bad behavior. Because I've always been like, what if my kid is a nightmare? Like,
Yeah.
what if they are horrible?
Right.
And I've always been so scared of that. But now, thinking about it in this way, like, I was able to see results on kids that weren't mine. And now I know the psychology and the behavior aspect behind it to be
Yeah.
able to raise good kids.
Yeah. You have the tools that you need.
Yeah.
If you wanted to.
Right.
Yeah.
But it still is not. I'm terrified. I'm
Yeah.
terrified. And then to see how the world is too.
Oh, yeah.
And to bring them into this. That's where I'm conflicted.
Right.
But
I haven't even thought like that far into it, but that's a very good point.
yeah.
And I'm not sitting here saying I will absolutely never ever have a kid. Circumstances might come up where I'm just like, this is exactly what I need and what I want. But I haven't for my entire 25 years ever felt that way, and I highly doubt I will feel that way. Life is unpredictable, who knows? But at this moment, I never want a child.
Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty hilarious to me because my mom, and shout out to mom because she,
Woo!
you know, I don't know. She just wanted me to give her a shout out. She was like, "You didn't mention me. You mentioned everybody else on the podcast."
Not on purpose.
Not on purpose, just coming up in the story. But anyway,
Right.
she's sensitive, okay?
It's okay, me too. I get it.
But my mom is hilarious because she's like, I don't know, you may need to see about freezing your eggs. She's like, we can take care of it. You don't have to you don't have to have a husband. We can take care of it. It's fine. So that's where she stands on it.
Yeah.
She wants a grandson. She wants a boy.
Oh, specifically, okay.
Which I think if I were to have kids, I would also want a boy.
Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. But anyway, I would love it no matter what.
Right.
But
Love it.
that's what we always say. She calls my animals it instead of her or him.
Yeah.
And it's just which they aren't human, so I can't say dehumanizing them because they're not.
De-animalizing them.
But yeah, she always says it, and I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay.
Sorry if I offend anyone.
But no, to go back to that, I do not think she is the asshole in that situation.
I don't either. Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
You're not saying anything wrong. You're not insulting anyone.
No. Okay. Are you ready for mine?
Absolutely. I'm so excited because you said this is like a favorite of yours, right?
Yeah. No, it's pretty messed up.
Oh, God, I cannot wait for this.
Okay. So the title of this is, Am I the asshole for leaving my husband in the grocery store because he started acting like a toddler?
Immediately, no. You're not in the wrong. Immediately.
This gets so insane.
Oh, my
will
God.
not believe.
Let's
Okay.
go.
And this one's a long one, so buckle up. Okay. We all go through phases and pick up annoying habits, and sometimes we just need our loved ones to gently tell us if we picked up a particularly egregious habit. Sometime in the last year, my husband has picked up a habit where he talks like a baby. At first, it was funny, but passed into embarrassing, cringeworthy behavior quickly.
Oh,
Examples: doggo, pupper, woofer, subwoofer, pibble, hootie boy, peepo, burb, meow meow, Sammy sandwiches, Sammy whammy, chicky nuggies, chicky tendies,
No.
adding a toddler-esque lisp to words, and the ones that are really gross are childish euphemisms for genitalia of sex.
Oh. Okay.
I cannot emphasize this enough. It is not endearing or sexy to have my husband talk about my boobies and his wiener or weenie and wee-wee, hoo-haws and bajingos. In parentheses, nostalgia for Scrubs be damned, which I haven't seen the show Scrubs, but I guess bajingos is the thing. We have not had sex for 6 months because he cannot stop talking about my boobies and it makes me sick. Just before the pandemic hit, we were out at a restaurant with some friends and he actually ordered a Chicky Sammy like that. Said the exact phrase, Chicky Sammy. Look, it's totally fine that he ordered the chicken sandwich. That's not the issue. Our friends noticed the baby talk because he insisted on continuing the joke, parentheses, and even started talking with this god-awful toddler lilt accent.
Oh my God.
After that, I just couldn't stomach the idea of going out with him to adult places. I'd go out to the brewery with friends, but God forbid he join me and say, "Me want another beer," or something. I don't know where it came from. I don't know why he's doing this. I finally hit my limit when we were grocery shopping and everything seemed normal and fine until he gasped like a kid, ran to the ice cream section, and jumped up and down yelling, "Ice cream! Ice cream! I want chocolate!"
What?
Okay. I was mortified. People were staring at him and me and kept going and kept saying, "Can we get popsicles?" And I just said, "Either talk to me like an adult or I'm leaving." He started saying, "Ooh, you must be fun at parties and lighten up, will you?" and shit like that. I just said fuck it and left the store, leaving him to walk home like a mile. It was fine, because I couldn't even look at him. Since then, things have been very tense, and he keeps telling me that he wants an apology for embarrassing him by leaving him in the store. What?
Who? Whatever.
I told him that people don't get to demand apologies. If someone wants to apologize, it's up to them, and I'm absolutely not going to apologize for saving myself the embarrassment of a 35-year-old man with a mortgage and retirement account asking for chocolate ice cream. Okay, sorry. He got his fucking mom involved. No joke. She keeps telling me it's just a phase and that he's probably bored and I should be happy this is his midlife crisis rather than him fucking 19-year-olds at the local bar. I'm going crazy. Am I the asshole? Do I really just need to let my husband continuously embarrass me like this? Before you keep going, there is an update on this. Let's see. I'm trying to find it. So anyway, give me your initial thoughts and I'll tell you what the update is.
Immediately, my first thought, sorry,
I'm going to try to look while you're doing that.
she is 100% in the right. That is gross. I understand, like maybe once in a blue moon, you say a word a little funny, it's a joke. Why are we going to make this a part of everyday life and in public? I mean,
Yeah.
Oh my God. No. I had the worst ick listening to this. I'm shocked about it. I'm disgusted by it. And what kind of midlife crisis makes you revert back to being a toddler?
Right.
Like, what are you going through?
So anyway, found out that it was a bet with his best friend and he would not give it up. He would not give it up.
Are you serious? What's the bet here? Like to do it to his wife?
I can't remember. Yes, but I can't remember how long it was supposed to go on.
Oh my God.
Or what they bet. But it was nothing serious on the wage here.
How would the friend know if he didn't use that kind of talk in private?
And how could his friend sit by and see their marriage deteriorate?
I mean,
relationship. I don't know if they were married.
From the friend's point of view, that's actually pretty hilarious. But the husband, the boy, whatever he is, come on. Come on. Grow up, like literally. That is so stupid.
Oh my God.
Is their relationship saved now? Like, is he fixed? Did he stop doing it? Did he win? What's happening?
All right. Her update was, it started as a bet with one of his friends that started as them trying to embarrass each other in public, she explained. He bet my husband that he couldn't keep it up for a whole year. The only off-limits part was work because he couldn't jeopardize his career. After nearly a year of baby talk, the wife discovered that the prize her husband had ruined their relationship was, drum roll, a signed baseball.
You're kidding me. You are joking right now. Men are such dumb creatures. That's horrendous.
Yeah. So it says apparently all of those very public acts of weirdness were also part of the bet. The friend was one of the people who witnessed the husband's weird toddler language at the brewery so he could see it with his own eyes. As for the whole grocery store debacle, there was a story behind that one too. He got cross with me in the grocery store because I interrupted the recording and almost blew the whole operation, she relayed. Oh.
So he was recording it.
He was recording it. Okay. Once the whole truth was spilled, the wife was livid, obviously.
Right.
So she was especially furious because her husband didn't seem remorseful at all about what he'd done. In fact, he didn't even apologize. She said, he thought we were both in on this little joke and that I'd find it hysterical, she shared. I asked him, did he understand we haven't had sex in months? No, it didn't matter. It was all worth it to him. He just kept saying, you don't get it. It's not just a baseball.
It is just a baseball.
Yeah.
Is that baseball going to love you for the rest of your life?
Right. Right. I told him the joke was over. It was time to stop for good, but that I was willing to move on with him, she shared. I could forgive him. But her husband was not having it. Instead, he told her he wanted to keep up the gag because there are only 2 months left in the bet and he is so close.
Oh my God. Well, okay, I feel like at that point, right? Now that she knows about it, she can mentally prepare like when he needs to record a bit and just go along with it. I don't like
But
that.
after all that?
I mean, I hate that he did it so long without telling her because it's gross and it's annoying, it's rude, all of the things. Mm-hmm. But if she wants to continue with him afterwards, and there's only 2 months left, like, now he can just be like, hey, I'm about to switch into that mode. I'm going to record real quick.
Did he record them having sex? I sure hope not.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. That didn't even occur to me. I'm going to go with...
Me either.
No, I
hope not.
Yeah.
But why would he do it then?
Maybe they just had conversations using those words without... I don't know. Even that would be weird to just record that.
I don't want to know about that. But in the end, do you think she left him or do you think she stayed?
I kind of hope she left.
She did.
Yes. Oh, thank God. Because I didn't like when she said she was going to continue on. Like, that's a big thing.
Well, especially he didn't say sorry, and he was like, come on, we only have 2 months left.
Yeah.
It's a baseball.
And in the first part, you said he wanted her to apologize for storming out of the grocery store and stuff.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. And I don't know, like, it's not... He was also watching his own relationship deteriorate. Like, maybe stop it, you know? That's a long time to keep something going that's actively annoying someone.
A year. I would lose my mind.
He fully pushed her away. He deserves for them to not be together. You know? That's insane. That's an interesting one to stick in your mind. I've never heard that before.
Really?
Yeah.
It stuck in... Because, I mean, me reading it for the first time is the exact reaction that you had. Like... Why is he doing this? Is it a medical thing? Is it a fetish? Like, what is it?
No, I wondered at first, like, did something traumatic happen and he, like, reverted back to his childhood or something?
Yeah.
But no, it's for fun with his friend.
Oh, man.
Wow. That's a good one.
I thought so.
Yeah, I enjoyed hearing that one.
But yeah, I think I'm out of material for today.
Okay. Well, this has been fun, leaving on a very interesting note.
Yeah. I don't know if I have a PSA for today. Do you?
I don't. Oh, I have a song of the week.
Okay. What is it?
Oh, I don't have it yet, but I'm gonna have one in a second.
Okay. Well, I'll come up with a PSA.
Okay.
Don't litter.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Very good advice.
Yeah.
My song of the week is called Glenn Hoddle, and it's by Tinker Wright. That's all. You have to go listen. If you're listening to this podcast and you hear me say that, you have to listen to the song.
All right. So as always, don't forget to rate us 5 stars.
5 stars.
5 stars. On Spotify or Apple, Amazon Music. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really know if all the
They
separate
do.
ones count on one. Do they?
No, no, no,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no.
So whatever you listen on, I guess.
Rate us 5 stars.
Subscribe to our subscribe. I can talk. Subscribe to our YouTube.
Yes.
We don't have a lot of people watching, which is fine. Listening's fine too. But if you want to see us,
Yeah.
go over to YouTube.
Or don't. I mean, I don't know.
We'll see.
I'm not a fan of this. She's making me do it.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, but we do have our set up again today. Second
Yes.
episode in a row, but unfortunately this is coming to an end for now. But
Right. And in case you couldn't tell, we have really nice shadows because we don't know how to set up
we
lighting.
don't know how to set up lighting.
But it's all good. And also, I noticed I never wear foundation. I only put powder on my face, but I'm like, we're filming. Let me put on some foundation, look like, got a full face of makeup on. It was the wrong color, and you can see it on camera. So if you saw that last episode, no, you didn't. Full on orange face and a white neck. We love it.
Orange face, white neck.
Yep.
I'm just going to start calling you White Neck.
Thank you. That's fair.
This has been the Straight Crooked Podcast, and signing out, the Gruesome Twosome.
Bye.